Hey Pink Posse, make sure you're tapping into Pink Sunday Radio every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow us on all of our platforms so you never miss an episode.
It's Tia. It's been a Mississippi minute, but we bite, baby.
What's up, Pink Posse? It's your girl, Ja. And yup, we back at it like a crack addict.
It's your girl, Jiggy, a.k.a. Tanika. Listen, pull up on us. It's time to cut up, because we back.
What's up, Pink Posse? It's your girl, Kogi, and we're back. Pink Sunday Radio. Well, hello, everyone. It's your girl, Kogi. Welcome to another edition of Pink Sunday Radio. I have my girls, Jiggy.
Hey, y'all.
Tia.
Hello.
And Ja.
Pink Posse.
And we do have our special guest waiting, Michael McIvory Jones. Michael, welcome to the show.
Hello, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Yes, no problem. Before we get started and you introduce yourself, we do have our Black queer icon of the week, and that is Pink Sunday Radio celebrates Pride Month 2023 by highlighting Black queer icons in entertainment.
I actually got into film by accident. I never knew growing up as a gay Black girl from the South.
To, people that want to be heard or feel like they need to get some issues out there is one, stand firm in your decision, but flexible in your approach, and go out there and show the things and make the things, be loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let anybody silence you. Don't let anybody silence your cause, because that's what they're going to do. We're under siege. We've been under siege forever. And we will probably continue to be.
There's this young girl, Sierra, who works in Ava's camp. She's like a young version of me, a little Black lesbian with the puffball. She's from New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And she's, an aspiring filmmaker, and she reminds me a lot of myself. So Ava, I came to know her because of Ava. And so I've been giving her, some gigs and stuff like that too. She's phenomenal. Dope. Sierra, don't sleep.
That was Sierra Glaude, Queen Sugar, also directed 204 Demetrius on PValley. So that is our Black queer icon of the week. Without further ado, Michael McIvory Jones. One of the first things we do on this show is let our guests introduce themselves. So please, you have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Michael Jones. I am an actor, a stuntman, and a writer based in Atlanta, Georgia. I started off PValley in PValley season 1 as Lil Murda's Alphonse Nicholson's stand-in. And as y'all know from season 2, I ended up becoming the stuntman and everything else. So, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I do. Also, for hobbies, I'm a skydiving coach. Y'all probably see on my Instagram, I do a lot of jumping out of planes and stuff like that. Just love extreme sports. So anything that gets the adrenaline rushing, that's what I'm into.
Oh my God, that is so exciting to me. Skydiving coach.
Yeah. Were
you always that adventurous? Like, when did you become this adventurous? Because I must say, skydiving, I mean, it's on the bucket list, but I
way
I
down.
haven't gotten there yet.
Way down.
Yeah, it's a bit different. What it was really, I started over the pandemic. It was all this like COVID might take us out, this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try something crazy before COVID take me out if it gets me. You know what I mean? So like a few weeks after my birthday that summer, I signed up for classes. I took them, and at first it was different. It's not something. It's not a natural thing, obviously. To be jumping out of the plane. They didn't have any refunds. I paid for the class up front, so I had to finish the course, and then after a while, I got used to it. And,
for sure.
And now, 300 something jumps later, I'm a coach and everything like that. So Yeah.
See, I was thinking that you did it in the military, so I'm shocked that it was like a fairly new thing. Because when you actually watch your videos, you look like you've been diving forever. So for it to be like what 3 years you've been diving is crazy.
Yeah, so it was crazy. When I was in the military, I actually on the PT test, they had a certain qualification when I was in AIT that if you passed on a certain scale, they would recommend your unit for you to go to airborne school. And I did that. And when I got to my unit, right, so he just looked at my paperwork and he just started laughing. I'm like, yo, what's funny? You know, I did good. And he's like, yeah, we don't do that here in this unit. We don't support airborne. I was like, oh man. So I was like, so it was kind of always in the back of my mind, you know, but I never thought that it could. But you know, more airborne is more of like round parachutes and then you just jump out and you just land. Whereas this one, we're in full controllability. So you know, it's a little bit different, but I ended up doing it, and
Wow.
So what was the journey from military to stand-in actor, stunt double? How'd you get from one to the other?
So when I got out the military, I immediately moved to Atlanta. That my original plan was to move to Tampa. My cousin lived out here. He was like, hey man, stop in Atlanta for a little bit, check me out. And I ended up staying in Atlanta. I was working a few jobs here and there as a waiter, a couple tire shops and stuff like that. And my cousin Richard Brooks, he's actually an actor he was an actor on Being Mary Jane.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays Patrick, the oldest brother. That owns the
yes.
That's my big cousin. So when I believe they had moved the production of the show from LA to Atlanta. And when they did that, he hit me up. He's like, hey, cuz, you know, the show's coming out here. Would you like to see what the set life is like? You know, want to be an extra? I was like, oh, yeah, like, definitely. Like, how do I sign up? So he sent me the link, took headshots, did all the stuff, whatever. And I've been on set ever since.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
That's amazing. So what you said you're a writer. Do you write television, short films? What are you writing currently?
Right. So I started writing a miniseries this year, trying my hand back at it. I did a writing course back in 2018 when I attended the Art Institute of Atlanta, and kind of got a little, you know, taste for it. But then stunts and acting and everything else took kind of over. But now, you know, with this strike and everything like that and everything that's going on, things have slowed down. I've actually picked it back up and started going back at it, and trying to. Oh wait, did my screen go off? Trying to go back at it and, you know, try my hand at something different, you know, so hopefully when things get back in motion, I can have something else to bring to the table, you know.
Right. So I would imagine being a stuntman, that is very technical, right?
Yes.
So what kind of training do you have to go through in order to perform such technical mannerisms, I mean, can you give us a little bit of background on that?
Yeah, so a lot of stunt folks come from a lot of like athletic backgrounds or military backgrounds and stuff like that. So that helps a lot coming into it. And then you pretty much just fine tune it. A lot of people think that with stunts you have to pretty much know everything, like the flips and the karates and all that stuff like that. And that's really not the case. You can specialize in certain things pretty much. Like you have people that, you know, do high falls and stair falls, you know. And you have the people that actually do like the martial arts and the hand-to-hand combats. And you have people that do trick flipping and stuff like that. And then you put them all together, you know, and you can have like 3 different types of stunt people for one character, you know. So one stunt person wouldn't be the actual stunt for the character for the whole movie. Sometimes you have somebody that specializes in driving, somebody that specializes in different things. So basically what I did was I used my military skills, and that's how I got in. And then from there, I networked my way into meeting the stunt coordinator named Michael Long, and he has a stunt school called LA Stunt Center. And I attended that school, and then that's where I learned. And then from there, a lot of times he hires from within, you know, the alumni and stuff like that, and then go from there. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. What was that one-on-one like? Did you have a one-on-one meeting with Katori? And how she wanted you? Okay, you're gonna be Lil Murda stunt double. You're gonna be Montavia stunt double. What was that interaction like? I love hearing Katori's stories.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was, so from season 1, when Lil Murda had that fight with Pico in the club, when Pico was talking all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he flipped him onto the stage. So at that time, I wasn't his stunt double, I was his stand-in. But I was looking and I'm like, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do that same stuff or whatever, right? But at the time, I was probably like, I want to say 20 pounds lighter than what I am now. So I didn't have the size that I had, comparable to Alphonse. So when the next season rolled around, I actually asked the producer Patrick, I was like, hey, Patrick, can you introduce me to the stunt coordinator, Freddie Poole? And then he pretty much introduced me, and I said, hey, Freddie, his stand-in, I trained in stunts, what's the chances of me becoming, his stunt double? And then it was actually Freddie, I believe, who actually went to talk to Katori for me and see if all that stuff can get approved, because, being a stand-in, like I would have to be on set, in order to get, the lighting and everything right. But at the same time, if it's a day where I have to do stand-in and stunts, it kind of gets difficult, because I have to be in kind of like two places at the same time. So sometimes you don't want that to happen, because you need a smooth running operation when you're filming, because you don't want to take time away from one thing to another. So anyway, we worked it out. It ended up working out. I got blessed to double fines as Lil Murda. Yeah,
that's amazing.
So do people typically specialize in stunts? Like you said, some people do flips and some people do that. Like, I'm assuming that in the school you learn everything, but when people get out of the school, do they typically specialize in certain types of stunts?
A lot of the times, yes. Like for me, high falls obviously was my favorite, so I continued and I took that up higher. In the school I learned like many air ramps, trampolines, hand-to-hand combat, stuff like that, car hits. But I wasn't, when I looked at the pool of stunt people, and I looked at like their experience and just being real with myself, like, okay, they've been doing this for a very, very long time, and they're very proficient in it, and I'm just kind of getting there, so from the likelihood of me getting these jobs are very low. So let me look at something where I don't see too many people saturated in it, and let me take that over, So me taking high falls up into skydiving, there's not too many black skydivers that do it for the movies and stuff like that. That would do stunts and act and all that stuff like that. So I figured, let me get into that part of the market. And in a way, people do go and specialize in different things, but they do learn a broad knowledge of everything else, just in case the job does entail that. Because a lot of the times, things that look very technical on screen, we make it look very technical, but it's actually sometimes very easy. But it's all about those angles.
So what's a stunt that when you saw it, you thought was going to be super difficult, but when you did it, you were like, wait, that was kind of easy though?
I don't know if I can say this one. So there's one where the movie hasn't come out yet, but there's one where it's tough to say. There's fire involved, and I thought I was going to get burnt up, and I didn't. That was probably like intense, like like something that can really, really hurt me and stuff like that. Yeah.
So when people think about stunts, they think about things like that, like fire and all kind of crazy things. So like, what are some of the stunts that you've done in PValley that people like wouldn't think that was something a stunt double would be needed for? Like, what are some of your scenes?
So a lot of scenes were more because I had to give it up to Fonz. Fonz actually executed pretty much all his stunts. I was like, as stuntman, we're there for the previs, so we do all the technical stuff, ahead of time. We work it out for the cameras, stuff like that. So I believe it's episode 3, I want to say, where it was the fight between Big Teak and Pico outside the club, and we had to practice, them like where Teak and Pico are going at it, and Lil Murda has to come and grab them off. Well, they're swinging punches and stuff like that, so we have to work out, okay, where are we going to grab him from so a punch doesn't just swing and hit Fonz in the face when he comes out there, right? And then when the shootout happens and stuff like that, and there's a mass scatter and everything like that, in the back of the hearse, because the way the doors open, there's a hinge, and he has, Lil Murda dives into it, so he has to like literally clear that hinge, because if he doesn't clear that hinge, he can either hit his head, his face, gouge himself, whatever.
Right.
So we have to work stuff like that out, you know what I mean? And then I'll do it a couple times, show him like, okay, this is the angle here, da da da, and then we let the actor take over. And then if the actor feels comfortable with it, go ahead, because we want as much authenticity, as we can, out of the project. So that's one of them. Another one I would say, episode 209. Of course, the big fight scene with the gang fight. That one I actually got punched in the face. During
like in real life.
Yeah. So that's the thing, like when we were rehearsing. We rehearsed that probably for like a week too. That fight scene it took a little while. But yeah, there's the part where Lil Murda comes down, he hits the guy, and then he gets hit. Well, the other stunt double and I, we didn't have our spacing right, and we're going at it trying to make it look real, and he actually catches me, and it's like boom. I'm like, oh, and I'm still trying to act, and I'm like, oh my god, okay. Like,
First aid kit.
I gotta
First aid kit.
They're holding me up right now. I just got knocked out, like just keep holding me, dog. Drag me, please. So when things like that happen, I'll go and tell the Fonz like, hey, before you go up there, because I just got hit, just make sure y'all have y'all spacing. Make sure you go slow first and then speed it up, da da da. And then he went in there and he did exactly what he needed to do. Mm-hmm. And then for like things that are like not combat related or anything like that, like when the Mercedes dance double does the flip off the pole over Lil Murda.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to rehearse that a couple times too, right? And we don't want to always rehearse it with the actor, because if she doesn't clear him, she falls on his neck. Now he's hurt. Now we have to shut down. This and the third. So those are things that stunt double. So it's not always all the time going to always be on screen. A lot of it is just to work out the technicalities. So when we put the actor in there, everything can just go flawless. We have a good day. We go home.
Mm-hmm. So like what?
So is there anything that you ever?
Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Has there anything you don't do? Like, is there a deal breaker thing that you're like, absolutely not?
Like,
is there a deal breaker thing that
as far as I'm sorry, it kind of went out.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
It just depends. It just depends on how technical it is and how safe are we going to be doing it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Is it going to be safe? Is it going to be worth it? Like, is the shot going to be worth it? Does it make sense? Does it tell the story the right way? All those things have to make sense. You know what I mean? But a lot of the times, I mean, especially with computer generation and stuff like that, a lot of times we don't have to do too much crazy stuff. But like there's I mean, I think I'll have to be presented with it to see first what I would reject.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before I reject it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I love that.
So you talked about like being there to practice the scene because they don't want Alphonse to be there to practice over and over again. How is that different from what a stand-in would do? So where's the difference between? I would think that was a stand-in, but that's a stunt double thing.
Right. So that's a stunt double because there's a lot of physical action going on. There's a lot of movement and stuff like that. For a stand-in, we're literally setting the marks for the cameras, for the lighting, and for the grips and everything like that. So we'll literally we'll come in. Well, first the actors, they'll have their first team rehearsal. They'll rehearse with each other, the cinematographers, the director, and everybody else. They'll do their part rehearsal. Then they'll bring the stand-ins in and everybody else. And we'll watch them actually perform the scene. And when we watch them perform the scene, we're looking for each beat and each mark that our respective characters step in, what line they step into that mark at, which way their body's facing, all that stuff. As a stand-in, we have to kind of remember that. But we also have help from the camera department. They also place like marking tape down and stuff like that. So when the lighting department's telling, okay, hit your first mark, hit your second mark, final mark, stuff like that, we know where to go. So as a stand-in, so we're following along with the script. Okay, he stepped here on this line. I'll mark that off right there. When it's the second team rehearsal, now they're going to go change into their costumes and go fine-tune the scene. We're in there getting the lighting set up and all that stuff.
Okay. So just to pivot real quick.
Yeah.
So Black Panther.
Yeah.
I saw you in the Black Panther suit.
Yes.
I need the background because that's iconic.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Rest in peace, Chadwick. I mean, beautiful soul. Can you please give us a little background on you in the Black Panther suit?
So the Black Panther is crazy. All right, so it's all everybody. I know the famous. Well, how can I say it? Lisa Ray said, she said network across, right? So when I started off after being Mary Jane as an extra and everything like that, I continued being an extra doing these sets. I met a PA named Jeff Carranza. He started off as a background PA, and as I started going up the ranks as like background, feature background, and stand and all that stuff, he was climbing up the ranks on the PA side. So Black Panther comes around, and it was crazy because I had not at all worked on the movie at all. I didn't apply for any extra roles. I didn't want to work on it because I wanted it to be fresh. I didn't want to know anything about the movie.
Right.
So he ends up calling. He's like, "Hey, Mike, I need an extra. To do this scene. To double Chadwick." And I forget what Dan Kaluuya's character name is, but it was a scene where they had an orb and they were talking to Shuri through the orb. So he told me everything. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. So I drive there the next day, and I get to Tyler Perry studio, I sign in and everything. And I'm just thinking that I'm going to go to like a regular, change in tent and everything like that. And the base camp PA, he's like, all right, come with me. So I go with them, and they're like, all right, here's your trailer. So I'm looking at the trailer, and it says T'Challa double. So I'm like, I'm going. I go in there, and the garment bag is in there. So I unzip the garment bag, and it's the Black Panther suit. So I zip it back up, and I'm like, hey, Jeff, hey, I think I'm in the wrong trailer. So I think they put me in the wrong thing or whatever, because the suit is in here. He's like, I'm like, the Black Panther suit is not what you showed me. He's like, yeah, put that on. I said, I don't think you heard me. Not the thing that T'Challa had on in the thing, the actual fighting suit. He's like, yeah, put that on. I said, all right. So I put it on or whatever, right? So I put it on, and I knocked on the door or whatever, because they had these security guards out there. I didn't know at the time that people were flying drones over top of Tyler Perry Studios, trying to get shots of what the costume would look like and stuff. So when I knocked on the door, the guy opens the door, hands me this huge Darth Vader robe, and I put it on, and then he's like, when you step out, just keep your head down. And I had 3 huge dudes just walking me to set. And when I get into set, Ryan Coogler is sitting there talking to Chadwick. Chadwick is in his Black Panther suit, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? I really have no clue what's going on. You know what I mean?
Surreal.
Right. So I'm just I'm looking around. It's blue screen stuff everywhere. It's the spaceship is over there. And I'm just like, what am I here for? Because I have no clue. I have no rehearsal, nothing, no knowledge of what's happening. And and then Brian and Chadwick break off. Chadwick goes, he has personal I think it was his assistant. She was helping him do something, and then Ryan goes into the spaceship, and they're like, all right, go into the spaceship or whatever. So I go into the spaceship, and pretty much what I was doing was photo doubling the opening scene. We had to reshoot that part.
Okay.
The opening scene for that. Okay. And then so I'm in there, and then now this part is funny because I really thought I messed up. So I get in there, and they hand me the Black Panther helmet. I'm sitting in the chair, in the spaceship chair, and I guess you could say the captain seat. And Ryan's like, rub the helmet with your thumb or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I'm doing it, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, all right. So he's like, no, I'm not really rub it like you're thinking about, Ryan's very particular with his direction, what he wants, right? And I didn't know this at the time. It's my very first. It's the first 10 minutes of meeting, right? So I'm trying different things, trying 2 fingers, rubbing it like that, all kinds of stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Just bring Chadwick in. I'm like, bam. I'm like, so I got up and everything. So and then Chadwick and I walked by, we bumped heads. That was literally the only time after that. The last time I seen him. And then they took me to another set where I had to photo double T'Chaka, his father, Black Panther's father.
Wow.
And, he had the garment on, and he ended up killing his brother because he took the vibranium to the roads, to the outside world and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
That was actually me like killing him and getting the vibranium out of his hand, stuff like that. So I was there pretty much photo double and do all that stuff, and I had no clue. Like it literally just threw me in there, and yeah, that's how I became Black Panther.
I mean.
That's an amazing story.
That's an amazing story. And I think it's a perfect story to take us into a beautiful break about grind.
Are you an everyday hustler? Are you always on your steady grind? Are you a Black storyteller that matters? Check out actor and philanthropist J. Alphonse Nicholson's signature apparel line at 5grinds.com and pick up a t-shirt, hoodie, and book bag and tell the world who you are. That's FIVE grinds.com.
Listen, we love steady grind here, okay? Your story right there and everything you've talked about up until now has been just what Alphonse talks about all the time. Okay, so
my God, man, I learned so much from that man.
Yeah. Everybody we've had on the show who's interacted with Alphonse has discussed how great he is to them. So I think my next question for you is, there's been so much talk about when it comes down to just how much Alphonse contributes to his scenes, who's doing what, this, that, and the third. Can you tell our audience that, because it's about credit, right? And it's about the work that the actor is putting in. Can you just confirm you're not stunt doubling for?
All right, so here's the thing. So you have stunt doubles, you have photo doubles, you have body doubles. Okay, you have fit models, you have all kinds of different things, and they're all different. All right, now, so the answer to everybody's question is no, I did not double any of the scenes that he did. What I will say though is, as a stand-in, we do, depending on how comfortable you are with the situation and what's going on, we do attempt to get the positions down right, you know what I'm saying, for the lighting, for the camera. So when the actors do come in, they don't have to worry about shifting around. They can just focus on what they have to do. So before the cameras are rolling, we get the angles. After the cameras are rolling, it's actors.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for an intimacy scene, it would be a stand-in for Alphonse and a stand-in for Nico, getting the spacing and the things like that right before the actors.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no motion or anything like that. There's nothing. It's literally just the position, static, not moving. They get everything, lighting on the face, whatever it is. And then second team out, first team in.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, to get the X's where they go.
Yeah, because especially with scenes like that, it's like, obviously it's very intimate, right? And it's supposed to be very intimate, but then you still have 50 people sometimes like looking at it, some people looking at it, like the camera folks that's right there 10 feet away. You know what I'm saying? The sound, you got a boom, you got a microphone right here off camera. You know what I'm saying? You get all that kind of perform, you know what I'm saying? So so we try to make it as seamless as possible, you know what I mean? So where they're not, in an uncomfortable situation too long, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm glad that you answered.
Yeah.
So on PValley,
because a lot of people are still debating it even before that. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tia. We just
no, you're fine.
it was crazy, right? Because I didn't know what was going on at first, so I opened up my Instagram. I always had the same number of friends on Facebook as I had on Instagram. And family friends for years, right? So like one day it's like I open on Instagram, it's like plus 100. I'm like, what's going on? And then another 200. So I'm like, what? So then my homegirl hit me up. She's like, hey, yo, you're all over the blogs. I'm like, for what? And then she sent me the link, and I said, oh. I said, you know, entertainment goes. I'm like, I just let it boil over or whatever, and it kept going on. I'm like, all right. So I try to tell people like, hey, you know, stunt doubles don't do that. You know, we do these other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't fight the internet. So I was just like, all right, whatever.
I know.
Yeah, I saw a couple of your videos. Like, look, no, I was not in the scene. And what's hilarious on that video, in the comments, people be like, no, but we know. Like, okay, like, whatever.
They're experts. So I'm like, hey, if you're the expert, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Then I guess I did it.
they will take the video of you saying no, I don't do it, and be like, see, he said he did it. That's not what that video posted for.
They'll literally put some different videos before or after, so it sounds like you said, like, the internet is a wild place, man. It's just a wild place. So you started out as stand-in, then stunts, but then we got a few scenes with you. You were Montavious, Ghost of Christmas Past in one scene, but you also were in the scene with Andre and Haley as, I guess, one of Andre's friends for his campaign. So how did we go here to the actual acting on PValley?
Pretty much I'm just blessed to like be in the right height and size range of all these so so actually it started the first one I did on season 2 was actually the reflection of the Scream mask, looking at Grandmother Ernestine inside the window when the Clifford's cousins were coming to kidnap her.
Oh, yeah.
That reflection looking at Grandma, that's me. And then the Montavious thing, I was standing for Montavious on season 1. So it kind of worked out that when season 2 came around and they needed that, you know, cliffhanger right there to come out. The suit pretty much just fit falsely. So they're like, hey, you know, just throwing the Montavious thing, we're gonna get this shot. It's like, hey, let's do it, you know. And then for the role, so the role as Andre's intern. So it was pretty tough, right, to get me on the show, because it was like, where were they gonna put me? You know what I mean? Because I look so much like Fonz, especially like when I have the haircuts. Because throughout the whole season, I literally look like him. Like I'm his fit model, right? So like the murder haircut, I had to get that cut on my head first. It had to get approved, and then they cut on his hair, you know, stuff like that. Me and Alphonse both got our hair dyed at the same time and stuff like that. So I was pretty much Lil Murda throughout the whole season. When I'm at home, I have to like wear a do-rag when I go out and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So I kind of lost my train of thought there, but pretty much, it was kind of hard for me to replace me, because it was like I look too much like him. What kind of character can they put me in? And we definitely can't have a scene where we're in the same scene together.
Right.
But they, you know, the writers and the producers, they figured it out. They figured out where they could put it, and they blessed me with the line, you know, with the couple lines in the scene with Parker and Elarica and Dan, and it was a blessing, you know. They told me like the week before, they were like, hey, you know, we got something for you. I was like, yo, that's love, you know. And it's a real family for real. Like, it's a real family for real. Like, we all look out for each other, you know, we make sure everybody's good. So for them to do that, I was like, you know, thank you. And actually it gave me new light, because I started acting even more. I started taking classes and getting more roles. So
I love that.
It worked out really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. It truly is a family. That is one of the best things about PValley is the family.
And we have a Facebook comment from Onika Marie that says, this is awesome. Wonderful cast. Kudos to Michael Jones, superb and talented actor. Seen him in some excellent movies doing stunts.
Thank you.
So that was a nice comment.
That was beautiful.
So outside of PValley, you've also done some other things. I'm going to show this quick little clip of you.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Waiting on y'all.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You're right outside of a police station. What do you think would happen?
I know exactly what's gonna happen.
Wait, you one of those police auditors trying to drag us into some shit?
Nah, man. Easy with the pushing and the pulling. I ain't resisting.
Exactly. This is an arrest, not a slow dance.
I know exactly what it is. I've been waiting on it.
So you looking to go to jail?
Ain't a lot of wattage in your light bulb, is it?
Yeah, well, you're the fool who's going to jail.
For what? What are y'all charging me for?
Vandalism. What are you doing now?
Now I'm resisting arrest.
Chill ass.
Easy. We're gonna spray through.
So this show is Judge Me Not, that's based on Judge Lynn Toler. Yeah. It's on the All Black Network. So how did you get there? And have you met Judge Toler?
It was crazy. I actually auditioned for 3 other roles. I didn't even audition for the cop role. I also did 3 other roles, and I didn't get them. And then probably about a few days before they actually, before we shot that, they contacted me and said, "Hey, we want to book you for the cop." You know, I was like, "I'll take it. Let's do it." And it ended up happening to be also the last day of filming for the season. So yeah, it was cool when we got there though, because we were so crunched for time. We actually got that scene done. I want to say maybe about 15.
Oh wow! Okay.
20 minutes. Like we knocked it out. All the different angles, everything like that. Like the team, they were on it. You know. And then you got that knocked out. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Sometimes you audition for a whole bunch of other stuff, don't get it, and get something else, So it's part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's all about opportunities, and you take advantage of them, which I love that, because that's what life is about, taking opportunities and the blessings, and we love that. So we have a game. Do you like to play games?
Let's do it. I like playing games. Let's do it.
Well, okay, then we have lightning round. Okay, we have 2 rounds. Miss Tia is going to tell you how the game works.
So lightning round works like this. We have 2 rounds, and there's 4 different this or that's for each round. So you basically tell us which one you prefer or like better or in that range, and kind of like first thing that comes to your mind. No explanations, no extra. Just tell us the first thing that comes to your mind when we give you the 2 options. So we're going to start with the women's of PValley. So Mercedes or Farrah?
Farrah.
Okay.
Haley or Miss Mississippi?
Damn. I have to call. I'll probably. Oh damn. I'll probably go Autumn.
Okay.
Whisper or roulette?
Whisper or roulette? Yeah. Roulette. Whisper kind of weird to me.
Brazil or Toy?
So you know what's crazy about these? All right, well, you know what?
No, tell us what's crazy.
Yeah, because
crazy.
You
tell us.
Toy, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next category is extreme sports, since you out here skydiving. And did I see that you also base jump?
Yeah. So yeah, my wife just found out too. I ain't.
Oh, did I just tell her, or did somebody else?
It's out now. Yeah, I didn't hear.
Lord Tia.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, my dry snitching. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, we apologize. We apologize.
We are so sorry. We will look closer at our NDA next time.
Yes.
So this is extreme sports. So the first one is skydiving or bungee jumping.
Oh, skydiving all day. I don't trust rubber bands.
Okie dokie. So base jumping or rock climbing?
Base jumping, because if I fall off, I need some.
So, scuba diving or whitewater rafting?
Ooh, you know what's crazy? Yeah, you know what? Scuba diving, because the boats don't.
Okay. Hang gliding or parasailing?
I'll say parasailing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh man, thank you so much for playing. I thought we was that was something else. I think that was the first lightning round that took a minute. And still likes to say, wait a Mississippi. Yeah, that was a good one.
Can I see all those women almost like my sisters sometimes? It was like,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we all say like, hey sis.
Yeah. And then you get on Pink Sunday Radio and you gotta choose.
Like, what are y'all doing to me?
Yeah. Oh my
love y'all. Y'all watch it. I love y'all.
Yes.
Right. So I have a quick question. Is there anything that you haven't done yet that is still on your list of things to do?
Like overall, or in like movies and TV, or just overall?
Well, dealer's choice. Personal goals, or about something you would like to do as far as movies and either way.
Right. Well, one goal that I had for the end of this year is I want to start shooting my miniseries that I've been writing. Definitely want to start shooting that and get that out. Especially with all the different platforms that are out now. Like, I know a lot of people always talk about Tubies and Voodoos and all that stuff, but hey, like it's a platform to get your stuff out there. But you're watching it, right? So that's the whole point.
Right.
So I'm gonna start filming that. And then also I want to wingsuit by the pyramids. A lot of my friends have done it, and I haven't done it yet. I want to be able to wingsuit by the pyramids in Egypt. Yeah.
That sounds dope.
I love that. That's very specific.
Yes.
I love it.
I love that too. Well, Mr. Michael McIvory Jones, thank you so much for joining Pink Sunday Radio. Before you go, please tell the audience, I think you just gave us a little insight, but any upcoming projects, tell us where they can find you, tell the audience where they can find you, or any other things, social drops you want to give us.
You can find me on Instagram. I pretty much am only on Instagram. Facebook mostly for family stuff like that, but Instagram at McIvory Jones. As y'all saw, I have Judge Me Not. That's out there, episode 3. Watch that on All Black Network. I also have another movie that I filmed called 90 Days Past Due. That's in post right now. Should be releasing, I believe, on BET. What else I did? Another project. Oh, I'm on Wicked City. Just filmed Wicked City season 2. That's going to be coming out on All Black also pretty soon. And y'all might just catch me on Noah's Ark, the new Noah's Ark movie coming out.
Okay. We might. Okay.
We do that rewatch podcast for Noah.
I'm watching.
We love some Noah's Ark.
Look out for that. Yeah.
We'll be looking for you in it.
It's a lot of familiar faces on there. This movie gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we love that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Right.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, that was good. And actually, since he told us about Noah's Ark, this is a perfect segue.
Hey PValley family, make sure you're also tapping into our Noah's Ark rewatch every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Details will be on both our Twitter and IG pages. Make sure you're following us and use hashtag Noah's Ark rewatch.
All right. Thank you, Miss Tia. All right. So last night, you guys, we rewatched episode 105 Belly. It was one in the poll. It won in the polls. Before we get started, Ja is going to give us our disclaimer.
Alrighty, family. The views and opinions expressed here are those of the speakers and do not reflect anyone or any entities that they may represent. This show is rated mature for subject matter and language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Yes, it is. And remember, like I've been saying for the last few weeks now, we are on a new platform. Therefore, we're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, as well as Twitter. So if you're on YouTube watching, drop those comments. We will see them and we will make sure that we read them across the screen. If you're on Facebook, do the same. Give us a like. Let us know you're watching. All right. So, ladies, I have a feeling it's going to be a tough one. It's time for Rate the Episode. Oh, boy. I know me and Tanika. Yeah, me and Tanika don't know yet.
I don't know.
But
we kind of far along in the process to not know.
You know,
but while I'm giving them the ratings, y'all can figure it out. So here are the ratings.
Thank you.
The first one is 1 mic, and that's Unc's Chicken and Dressing. The second one is 2 mics, and that's Sit on My Lap Slaw, because it is some slaw. Number 3 is Ernestine's Neck Bones, 3 mics. Some people may disagree with that rating, but we're giving it 3 mics over here on Pink Sunday Radio. The fourth one is Weed Wangs or Lemon Pepper Wet, because you know Ja and Jiggy do not like lemon pepper wet. So we have to throw those Weed Wangs in there for the 4 mics. And 5 mics, of course, is Murda Smothered Pork Chops, Candied Yams, Collard Greens, and Cornbread. And those are the ratings.
You know, usually I go first, but I think any, mini, mighty, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. I'll let Tia go.
I'm going to give it 3.5 mics. It is an episode I like. I enjoy. Not quite 4 mics. Definitely not a 5 mic. Like 5 mic was out in the door. There's multiple, like my 3 mic episode is typically if I only like a scene in the episode, but I actually like multiples that I could watch. So 3.5 mics. That's what I would give it.
Okay, thank you. And therefore, I will piggyback off your answer and agree with that. I will give this a 3.5 mic because I like multiple scenes. One of my favorite scenes is, of course, Murda and Good Unc. You know, I love Lord Jesus, you know, how little nigga know how to get back here. That's hilarious to me. You know, we had Tamara on the show, and the fact that him doing this is actually Alphonse's thing. And Tamara said, "What's that? Do that." And now it's become a thing, and he does it is hilarious. And the fact that Good Sis said, what did she say? She said, nigga. Like she always wants Murda to, I mean, not Murda, but Big L to just count. And that's funny. Like she act like millions coming through the club, don't she?
Like you would think every event is millions. The way she'd be like, this event is gonna save the club. And it's like, how much are y'all making at these events?
I really need to see the books because she really do be like, it's gonna be some money niggas coming through the club. Like they coming from the highway. Like, but no, I agree. That scene was just so yeah, the scene was great. So I agree. 3.5 mics. Yeah. Is it in your top 12, Jiggy? Is it in your top 12?
She wasn't giving the top 12 look.
I couldn't figure out how I wanted to rate it, so I had to go and just do the list, all 18, and it's not. I have this at number 14, Belly. So
okay,
I'm gonna say 2.8 mics, I guess, somewhere in there. Not a full 3 mics.
Not even a full 3.
Not a full 3.
Okay, so what kind of meal would that be? Because that sounds like pork and beans.
Pork and beans with a little hot dog in
pork
it.
And beans is worse than Ernestine's neck bones. I like me some pork and beans.
Yeah, ain't
nothing
wrong with pork and beans.
I do the vegetarian beans, but I still put the turkey hot dogs in it.
Yeah, I ain't putting them dry ass neck bones above pork and beans now. No man.
Okay, well, honey,
over here. Don't do it.
Well,
it's pretty bad when neck bones is below pork and beans.
Okay, well, sis, it's just giving something. It's giving an after school lunch. I mean, in our big age. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
What's
it's
2 mics? What meal is that?
It's not a meal. It's sit on my lap. Well, yeah, sit on my lap slaw.
Okay, it's slaw with, like 2 wings and 2 weed wings on the plate, and the rest.
Okay. Okay, so no mac and cheese, nothing else. Okay, what about a dry KFC biscuit? You know them motherfuckers, they rolls is dry.
I like KFC
biscuits are dry. You have to have your honey, your butter. You have to doctor up all
exactly. So that's what the KFC biscuit is on that plate.
The
that motherfucker
biscuit,
dry.
But you don't have your butter and honey yet.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's dry. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, come on, y'all.
Y'all got me questioning. It's not a. I want to give it like a. Can I get like a 3-piece wee wang? And no, wait, where we at 3 is the neck bones, right? God, dry ass neck bones. Okay, so this episode has a few of my like favorite scenes in it, and I enjoy the jail scene stuff, but there was some times where I was just like, I could really do without this. And so it was hard for me because, like you said, we have those moments like the office scene. I love. We'll get into that later, but then we got like, God damn, y'all still in jail talking about this shit. Y'all ain't have nothing else to do like in jail. Like I am tired, so I'm gonna give like that's 3.5. Y'all forgive me. I am not doing this. This is a storm happening where I'm at, and it is playing with the whatever. And so
I thought we was in Disco City.
Baby, it is giving.
The storm is giving. It wants a red light special, and I'm trying to do the show right now.
It is
Give me a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the bed like you want me to, and go night night. Okay. Before then, let me do my show. So, but anyway, I feel like it was like a wee wangs, but there was like a couple dry ass neck bones on the side, and I was trying to figure out why the fuck was it in my plate. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to get my wee wangs and my fries on. You got these dry ass neck bones over here. Get that shit out of here. So I don't know if that's like a 3.2 or 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, because the jail scene is superb acting, but it is a little like draggy, but the acting all the way around is superb. So that's the like difficulty, because it's like y'all are acting your asses off, but like can we wrap it up though? Like
right.
So that makes that one a little difficult.
Okay. Yeah. But Miss Jiggy, I do have to ask you, the whale every week. I mean, because we rating the episode, so I just thought I'd throw it in there, baby. Every week, are you gonna put these little special emojis in your?
She does it every week.
Every week, but last
once before it was like a easy correlation, but I was like, Is that the belly of the?
Sis.
Absolutely not.
Like we discussed that on the old platform. Remember Belly of the Whale?
Yeah.
We're
I
in
was
the
like, what is
third
this whale
rewatch.
doing here?
I can't go back
did
and
this
do
in the first rewatch.
I've always done it, but I'm running out of emojis. I gotta
What
get
were your
creative.
other bellies?
I don't know. I just searched belly and it gave me that pregnant man, and I used the pregnant man the other week when Murda got filled up. So I couldn't use the pregnant man this week.
Wait, that pregnant was for Murda got fit.
That was for Murda. You didn't see all the people running around with Murda on
Everybody
People
said Murda
Child,
was
I wish I had
I
ready
did
for
sis.
the show today so I could show them.
I did see that, but I did not realize that emoji was for Murda being filled up, bitch. Okay.
I searched Phil, and I thought I was gonna get
You
like
searched
tail
Phil?
or bucket or something, and they gave me the pregnant man, so I said that. Let me use that. Yep, that's.
Wait, you searched Phil, and that's what they gave.
That's what they gave.
Yo, they are
That's what they
demon
gave
time.
me.
That's
what
wild.
The mess. Demon time.
Yep.
You really searched Phil and they gave you that for real?
Yep. I search something in the title of the episode. I put it in my
Get that off the screen, Tia. Get that off the screen, girl. You did not put.
That's exactly what it was. That pregnant man filled up.
You lucky I couldn't find the People magazine cover quick enough.
I really, you know what? I would like to apologize.
Right.
Like, I hate you. Oh my God. I just didn't know that was that image. I just really didn't know. That's why. Yep. So you mean to tell me on Elon Musk Twitter that you typed in Phil and that's what came up? I think you lying.
I promise on everything. I typed it in this
I
week.
promise after the show, I'm going to check.
For sure.
I promise.
I want everybody to go and type in Phil. And if that pregnant person do not come up, please, I'm coming for next. No, ma'am.
And type in belly also and tell me if he come up, because he sure came up on my emoji keyboard.
Tia. John, baby, I know you're going through a storm, but baby, I need you to type that too, okay?
Soon as it's over, I'm in there.
Everybody in the chat is laughing. Chunky Light,
Trail,
Trail, everybody is laughing right now. We appreciate y'all comments from YouTube because everybody's a mess right now. And therefore we are off. We are off right now. But you know what's not off?
Oh no.
The music that is being submitted. You know I'm sick of you.
The father of Black Gay Cinema, Patrick Ian Polk, is looking for indie music for one of his upcoming projects. Make sure it's competitively priced and easy to clear. Then submit with all pertinent credits to noahsmusicsubmission@gmail.com.
Girl.
I was like, oh no, I don't know which one she's queuing. Oh God.
Okay, y'all. So we spent time filling up the segment. Let's move on to
like Uncle Clifford filled up Lil Murda.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
You know what?
I'm trying to hold it in. I'm trying to hold it in.
That was very easy. Y'all gonna get off my top today, okay? Because I'm really trying to keep it cute. But you know what we about to do? We about to play a segment called Saints or Ain'ts. All right, ladies. First one. Her reaction to Murda's date request. Are we thinking that's a saint or ain't? Is she a saint or an ain't? And I got a little feeling. Okay, wig down there. What's going
not
on?
wig. Not wig.
It's a gorgeous and beautiful wig.
I really wait. That just came out. Sis, wait. I wanted to call you Shaka because that's what I said at the beginning of the show.
Wig.
You know I love you, Tia.
I have such a back and forth on this scene, which I'll get to in my Way to Mississippi minute, because there's stuff about that scene that cringes me. And
really?
Some of the in real life, as some boundaries that I feel like aren't being respected. However, I think what was good, and I think this more so because of what Fawn said when he, like, after doing the scene, he said it really taught him a lot about what the queer community goes through. Like when she explains, like, the truckers, they floating up in the lake, all that stuff. Like he said, in real life, he was like, oh my God, like I never even thought of how easier it is for me to just do life. Like than people in the queer community, like, because that's not something that hetero people face when going out on a date and having to think about that. So from that perspective, I give her a saint, because I think in this case, even though this is not fines, even for Lil Murda, we talking about somebody that's 16? No, I'm just kidding. But he's like 22 years old. He was in prison for a few years. He probably doesn't realize these things because, of course, he's DL. He's been in prison for a good amount of time. So, like, now he's like, yeah, I just want to be out and proud and with you. And she like, wait, hold up. Let me tell you what's at stake. Now, if you still want to do it, which he did, then that's fine. But I need you to know what could happen if we do what you're asking me to do right now. So from that perspective, she's a saint.
And then you think about how nasty Ruffin is and the things that he consistently says on the show. So it kind of sets up for how other people in the community feel about her. And it's also telling about things that have happened in Chucalissa that they have yet to put in the forefront. We don't know. Y'all always talk about these damn stranglers. Like, is that what they're doing? Because in real life, we do have trans people being killed at an alarming rate, right? So we don't know, is that an underbelly of Chucalissa? I think Nico did say that it's going to get darker, right? I think he has said that specifically in interviews. So that is a reality. And also the reality is people in the LGBTQ plus community, depending on where you fall, it's easier for others, right? It's very different. Whatever part of the spectrum you on, because baby, if you white and you a male, don't let you have a little bit of money, baby. You can walk around with your hand, hey, and you can go around. Black, you lesbian, you be good, maybe, but it depends on what the lesbians look like. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she would have studied. It depends. Like, it depends on the makeup, of what the couple looks like. So I understand what you're saying, that Murda, his circumstances are so much different than hers. He really needs to learn that respect. I'm with you.
Yeah, for me, she has to be a saint here, right? Because she's telling him the way she has to look at it. Like, he is a straight passing male. He can go, and the men he have dated previously have been straight passing. So they can go down to the Hot Wing Castle, or they can go wherever they wanted to do on their little date. And these things wouldn't really cross his mind because no one can tell. But for her, like, this is on her, even though she lives in this town, even if she wasn't on a date, I think these things are on her mind as a non-binary person in a small town in the South.
Yeah.
Even if she's grown up here, I'm sure there's days, she's not on a date. She just want a couple lemon pepper wings, and it might be the wrong person at Hot Wing Castle that day, and something is said. So these are things she experiences sometimes day in and day out that he has never had to experience, and they're things that he wouldn't even think of. So I think we want her to be like, let him love you, let him take you on a date, go do these things, don't push him away, don't reject him here. But these are things she has to think about. So she has to be a saint in this scene to me.
Yeah, definitely.
So I initially thought I was just gonna 1000% jump right in and be like saint, but I'm gonna give our good sis a saint with a little more saying in the apostrophe is somewhere in the sentence. And now let me tell you, Kogi, you giving me the look. You're giving me the look, but let me explain why. I totally understand the position that our good sis is coming from. But if we go back into the story, we know that Uncle Clifford has been Uncle Clifford her entire life. Everyone in that town from childhood up has watched Uncle Clifford do her. And in most spaces, she walks around and gives no fucks. Like when she was at the sheriff's office and all that bullshit was going on in the background, our good sis was standing proud in her skin, being herself. And we know that deep down, she does want that love. But a lot of people, when you've been through certain things, or like you said, when there are in limiting circumstances, we tend to say we don't want something that with every fiber of our being, we actually do. So, I feel like she is not coming from a malicious point of view. She is warning him what it looks like. She is warning what the possibilities, but I think she's actually more so just afraid of what it looks like for this young random rap guy who comes in. I think I think she used some excuses that sound good and are plausible, but in Chuckalisa, I don't think anybody gonna take two looks. I think it was more about protecting heart. So I want to give her a little tinge of bail. Like I'm not the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna put in on it and say whatever. But
so
points were made.
Points were made.
The only thing I'll disagree with is the idea that because she's grown up here her whole life, nothing would be said or they wouldn't look at her any certain type of way, because we've seen multiple examples of that not being true. When she walked up to the rally, the way people were stopping in their tracks and looking at her, the way in the first episode she felt she had to take off all of Uncle Clifford to go down to the check cash and go to the bank or wherever that was to deposit her money. So she has reason to feel the way she feels, as if she would be, I'm sure she's been accosted some places, even if she's been there her whole life. So that's the only
because
point.
It's the new generations. Because yes, if she's going to places where people that have also been in Chuckalisa their whole life and about her same range or a generation above, she'll probably be fine. But like as you see at the rally specifically, most of those were young people. So it's young people that have not grown up with Uncle Clifford, and it's like, and you don't know what the parents are saying, because in her face, they might be like everything's great, but then at home, because that's kind of like as Black people, how you kind of have an idea of what's being said, because they'll be in your face and then the kid will say something to you and you'd be like, where did the kid get that from? And the only place they got it is what the parents are saying at home behind closed doors. So I think that's the thing, is as this new generation ushers in, which technically Murda is a part of this new generation, he's their age. So depending on where Murda would take her, if he's taking her to some place that's one of his hangouts with people his age, that may strike the fear. There was definitely lots of excuse making on her part, but then a lot of stuff was very valid. So I definitely, points were made, y'all. For real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. Haley bailing out Mercedes. Is she a saint or a fucking ain't?
So do y'all think that she went up there specifically to get Mercedes to join her, like bailing her out to get, or did you think she was up there and she kind of saw the opportunity with like what happened What do you guys think?
So for some reason last night watching it, it changed my opinion because I always thought, okay, she only went down there because she wanted to bring Mercedes into her scam.
Mm-hmm.
But like, she didn't know the circumstances. She didn't know that Patrice had taken all of Mercedes' money. She didn't know that there was an opportunity here. So for me, she's like, what does Josh say? A ain't. Kind of a both. Because at this point, her and Mercedes don't even get along like that.
Right.
So she doesn't really have any reason to go down here and help the other girls to bail her out, but she did. And being there, she heard, I don't know if it was Gidget or Mississippi who told her that Patrice had taken all her money. I think that was Gidget.
It was Gidget when they were sitting on the curb.
So I think that's when the plan was concocted. So she was down there before that. So I'll give her a little bit of something for even going down there to help Mercedes out. Because Mercedes had been, I think, to me, rightfully kind of rude to her, but there was no reason for Haley to come help her.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. Because that's why I asked. Because to me, when people were like, "Oh, she was just trying to like use Mercedes," I've never gotten that when I've watched it. Now I feel like she saw an opportunity.
Yep.
Because when she found out she couldn't get no more transfers, she's probably been spinning like, "Well, what do I do? Because I got to get this money."
Yep.
And then it's like, "Oh shit, I can bail her out," and that helps her, but at the same time, she can help me. So I don't think it was malicious per se, but I mean, shit, you got 250,000, you done got a couple 9,000 deposits, and they talking about you can't get no more. Like, you got to use what you got, baby. Yep. And Mercedes is what you got. Mercedes needs help, so it works out. So I say the ain't too, because it's like she didn't come down there on like demon time, but she saw an opportunity and she took it, and I can't fault her for that, even though I know it's like still kind of opportunistic. So yeah, same.
Yeah, I always feel like with Haley, she always has like alternative motives and an ABCD plan. I mean, as she should. We all should, right? So I mean, I can't blame a person who's trying to get their money and they need another teammate, you know. And for a minute there, I can't lie, I felt like, dang, they kind of have a good little a good little time, you know, a good little team. I love the little moments that they were coming in and out of the cash places.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That was cute, you know, that was cute. I love those moments. So I give the little ain't or whatever, I give the same. Yeah, I agree.
So of course I gotta agree with you, lovely ladies, is that she's getting a ain't from me synced a little more. She can get a little more sing from me, because I do think, like everyone has already said, she saw an opportunity, but she was fair about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't bail her out and then say, "Oh, you need me, bitch, so I'm finna," you know. Nah, she made it worth her while, and even did some extra shit that she didn't even ask for nothing back, you know, later on, as we see. So I'm as Tia with, I'm gonna shoot her a little bill on this one.
A little bit.
just a little bit, you know, and give her a little something. She was opportunistic. It wasn't unfair, you know. So
Okay. I'm gonna go first on this one, because before I lose my thought on this one. Now, willing to bail out Mercedes at the expense of losing the club. Good sis. Now, I know that Mercedes is her bottom bitch. I understand it. At the same time, it's like other people have to eat. You know, you still have, like, the first thing that Unc said when she came in the office, when Mercedes says, "Yo, what was it, midnight blue black ass or something," was, "Who the hell gonna hire Big L? Who the hell gonna, you know, he's scared. Yeah, who the hell gonna, you know, even in 201, and you gotta pay this, and the girls gotta and all this." So it's like Mercedes ain't give a shit. She was like 25, a good retirement age. I'm ready to get, it's like a 401k. I'm out of here. You know, she was begging Mercedes to do a last dance to get her some Skrilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like, yeah, I think she was a little ain't in the moment. Now I don't know what ain't and something else can be called, because it wasn't a sut ain't for me. It was more of a ain't can't. I don't know, but I wasn't
A
feeling
little
good.
can't even do
Yeah,
it.
ain't can't. I wasn't feeling good sis in this moment, because I just felt like, yeah, it's a no for me. I'm sorry.
I think it's hard for me to call my good sis.
Yeah, because baby, you've been on record, honey. You've been on record, baby. Baby, I got you on video surveillance, honey, baby. Even in your sleep, you would never have even a nightmare, a dream, or nothing. Baby, you'll never be on record saying nothing about your good sis did anything wrong.
I might have to, because like I'm not feeling this, especially because she just watched Mississippi tear the damn stage down. So a couple of hours later, to be so willing to sacrifice it all. I understand you love Mercedes down. I understand that that's the child you can't never have. I understand all of that. But she was leaving, and Big L and all the other girls and you need this place. So you're just going to sacrifice that because she decided to beat her mama ass down to the Kroger?
Down to the Kroger.
I can't. No, that to me, that wasn't the right decision to make. Like she'll get out, she'll be fine. She decided to fight. We can't sacrifice everybody. There's a lot of people that need the pink. We can't sacrifice everybody because Mercedes decided to go to jail. So she's oh God, I gotta say it. My good sis is an ain't. This one time, this might be the only time she ain't, but this time
no, it's a few more. But
and we'll get there.
No. I have to give her an ain't too, because it's like what they tell you on the plane: put your own oxygen mask on before helping others with theirs. Yep. And she's like giving all her oxygen to Mercedes, and like you said, what is that doing for you? Mercedes not dancing no more. Nobody want to see her now because they just fell in love with Miss Mississippi. So if you put Mercedes on instead of Miss Mississippi, you double dumb stupid, because everybody wants Miss Mississippi. So like that would have been another level of ain'tness, because it would have been like, wait, you're gonna put Mercedes back as the headliner when you just got all of this, and because what Mississippi also brings is all the social media stuff, like all the stuff that she did on social media is part of the reason why they had all them people come from Biloxi the next time, is because now she's doing stuff where like the Mercedes, none of those other people, at least they don't do it like Miss Mississippi, because she be doing it like on there all the time. So yeah, I just think it's no thinking, it's just reacting. I'm just like gonna bail you out because I love you. And I'm glad Mercedes was like, wait, you're not doing that. That's not about to happen. So yeah.
Wait. Look at okay, Nay.
Nay, you gotta connect your mic. You gotta turn your mic on if you want to come in the studio.
Yeah, turn your mic on, Nay. Cause we got a couple.
We want to know what you got to say.
Yeah, we want to know what you got to say, Nay. Okay. But we do have a couple of comments. Exactly.
Nay said, oh my God, Tanika actually said, ain't for Unc.
One time and one time only.
One time only. Okay.
You missing some of them other ones.
Yeah, Tia challenging you on that one. Tia is challenging you.
And then they also said, from what we were talking about earlier, is that Mercedes and Haley's Thelma and Louise moments were cute for the short time we had it. They were. I really wanted them to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I we'll get to this another time, but I don't even understand why they're not even in the second season. But well, because even with what happened to me, that's something that should bring people closer versus tear them apart. So, but we'll discuss that on another part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I
Go
didn't know if
ahead.
y'all wanted to know what I thought, but
Yeah, I did.
Oh shit, we
No,
sure
I
do.
said no. I was fixing to do it, baby. See, that's
no,
the
I'm just messing
storm
with you.
messing with. That's the I was about to say, baby.
I
That's the storm
know.
messing up with you, baby. Because I was about to say, so job, what you think, baby?
Right. Yeah, thank y'all for bearing with me in this storm too, because it really
Yes,
started
ma'am.
like 5 minutes
Yes, ma'am.
before. It was like, this is intentional. Montavious Ghost is messing with us for this episode. But so okay. I didn't initially like, you guys gave me something to look at when we were talking about it the other day. I never really looked at it from the point of, okay, you're willing to bail out Mercedes, and it's almost like you're sacrificing everyone else. I never looked at it like that. I was purely looking at it from the bond of these two people and being willing to put it all on the line for your loved one. You know, Mercedes is like a daughter to Uncle Clifford. And as we know, those of us that have children or very close nieces, godchildren, whatever the case may be, adopted children, we'd do anything. We would, you know, if we had to, we'd give our lives, we sink to the lowest, the low, the highest. So that's how I kind of looked at it. So initially, I would this is a saint because I think it's admirable to be willing to sacrifice the thing that you want the most for that you consider your child. And then, however, you all did give me something to think about. All of those other ladies and Big L and everybody, they are your charges, like you said, your nieces, your nephews, your cousin, or whoever. And so, what about them? You know, you didn't consider that in the moment, and you're literally only there because you're trying to fight tooth and nail to save it for everyone else. So it's very contradictory to even being there. So I gotta give our big good sis, our unk, a little ain't on this one because she.
Ooh, okay. Not a ain't, but a ain't.
Okay, yeah, I want to give her a ain't. She wasn't totally on the bogus tip, so we'll give her a ain't.
Okay. So you giving Unc
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna give her a ain't.
Okay, a
because she meant well,
okay.
but she wrong.
Okay.
She was doing the wrong thing, but she meant well. It was coming from a good place.
Okay.
So originally she was a saint. So you heard us like say the stuff. She was a saint for you, like totally and completely.
Yeah, because she was willing to sacrifice her club. She was coming from the heart in that moment. She was like, "Hey, you locked up in here. You're half naked. You're in here with this crazy bitch who deserved every ass whooping you gave her. The guys is over there ogling you. You know, we see his rocks off while she's. It's a really fucked up place, and I don't know. I've never been to jail, but it's a place you don't want to be. So I could see her coming from a good place and being like, let me get you the fuck up out of here. We made some money. Let me get you out of here.
But my thing is, you sacrifice so much for somebody, but they ain't willing to sacrifice for you, though.
That happens all the time.
Mercedes is willing to
think
sacrifice?
Mercedes would sacrifice.
Yeah, I think Mercedes would
Shit,
sacrifice.
well, she need to get back on the pole. Stop fighting at the Krogers.
I mean, well, she did volunteer to say she did ask Unc, do you
There
need
you
me
go.
to stay?
There you go. Now you trying to turn that ain't into saint. But anyway, you know what we but you know what we but you know what we are gonna do, what we need y'all to do.
Hey family, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, do us a favor and follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're on Spotify, make sure you press those 3 dots and hit us with that 5-star rating. If you're on Apple Podcasts and have a little extra time, after rating us 5 stars, leave us a written review as well. If you're watching in full HD on YouTube, rate, subscribe, then tell us what you think in the comments. Last but not least, be sure to check out our website at pinksunday.com for original articles and exclusive content.
I love messing with y'all. Y'all so cute. Tia.
You
know what?
What happened?
You know what? Okay, see. Woo! Okay, everybody. Oh, hello, Diary of Prodigy. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you for coming through. Okay, so Nay just said she stayed longer than she should have. That helped Unc.
True. But she didn't stay longer than she should have to help Unc. She stayed longer because she was still trying to stack her paper. She only had that, $20,000 in them 7 years. She had to stay. She had no choice. That wasn't for Unc.
And y'all still trying to calculate how she
I will never, especially with Memphis being, what is it, an hour away? Like, you could have gone, danced, and been back in your own bed. Like, what are you doing? And maybe, like, what did coach said the most he gave her was $300? Like, you could have found you a new coach that actually could do some like real money. Like, because that $300 is not
I think you kind of tried to calculate, shoot us some bail 50 million times, but it didn't calculate correctly for you, Tia. You were really trying to give her some more money.
Every time I find, like, when I found out Memphis was an hour, like, I was, like, what are you talking about right now? Like, you weren't seeing your daughter because they weren't allowing you, like, you had time. Then now you like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Well, you had time to figure this out. You had time to get yourself together because during those years you weren't even seeing her. Like I said, you could have been to Memphis dance and been back at night or gone for the weekend and come back. Like, it's so many things she could have done.
That's true.
I'm sorry, to be a stripper in 2007 years, I would have had to find me another hustle because ain't no way I'm out here taking off all my clothes and it's taking me this long to stack money. That's the whole purpose of stuff like this, is you're supposed to be stacking faster, not just as fast or slower. That made no sense to me.
Well, she had a car, she had a mortgage, she had a
I don't think all that. Right. Okay, so,
but you know what? We gonna wait a Mississippi minute. I'll wait through everything.
This is actually hard for me, this episode.
Yeah.
Not hard. Like, I have some general ones, but yeah.
Yeah. I definitely was like, dang, what's my way to Mississippi minute? I had
Tanika started talking about one last night on the timeline.
Yeah, did you, Tanika?
So I didn't have one going in until the very beginning of the episode. So mine was Lauren being put out this club, pissy drunk, and being put into her car to damn near kill half of Chuckalisa.
That was a lot.
Like, first of all, how did y'all lead a club? And was she passed out from the moment Gidget and Mississippi ended her dance until the sun came up?
Yeah.
And then
but somebody moved her.
Well, she couldn't have been.
Oh, she
had to have walked. Yeah,
so she woke up. Jolie gave her a couple more drinks, and she passed out in the main club a second time.
And where'd she get the drinks from? The bartender wasn't like, you too drunk. Like, aren't they supposed to stop serving you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was overserved. Passed out a second time. Y'all left her passed out in the club. And then Unc hears her singing. She's obviously drunk as fuck. You escort her out the door. There's your car over there. Go ahead, girl. Good luck.
She wobbling to the car.
Yeah.
Clearly drunk.
Like,
that's why we know Sheriff Bailey loves him some Unc, because that should have been a citation, a shutdown, a something.
You should have been losing that liquor license or something.
Yeah,
should have been.
Because it was like, don't let him go out drunk. Okay. Like, wait, that's not. what's supposed to be happening right now. Like that should have been something that the Pint got in trouble for because that was crazy.
Ubers do exist. I mean, didn't somebody just my Uber's here? Wasn't that somebody that was standing right there? My Uber's
They've
here.
spoken about Ubers, definitely.
Yeah, like so I'm sorry, I'm not understanding. Like
just for Unc to be going through so much, about to lose the club, the mayor's on her ass.
Yeah.
You in for a closure. Like you should have been far more careful here.
Yeah. I think my way to Mississippi Minute is why you leaving Murda on that couch butt ass naked. Like, I'm sorry.
In the unlocked office.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. If we fucking all night, baby, put on your clothes. I'm about to go.
She was coming back though. She just heard Lauren think she wasn't leaving. She didn't go nowhere.
She hadn't planned on leaving. She just escorted Lauren out, then saw the foreclosure notice and passed out. Probably when she woke up, she totally forgot her little nigga was in the office, butt booty naked on the couch.
Like, I just rewatched it and I was like, this little nigga really on the couch?
That itchy, scratchy ass couch.
I was just thinking about it. I'm like, she walked on out, had the foreclosure, passed the fuck out. Like, I'm like tapping on the booty. Like, get up,
how
nigga.
You know Unc wore him out because he didn't care about the couch. Who been on it? He was like,
Murda,
you know what? I'm spent. Just laid out on the couch.
Murda stay sleep though. Yeah, Murda be sleeping good as fuck.
Yeah,
though,
Diary of a
He don't get his rest.
Face on that nasty ass couch. That couch nasty.
Yeah.
The paint nasty. Like, I'm not getting too much on my good sis, but the paint kind of nasty in multiple places.
Like, even with the rule of no motherfucking chips, like it's nasty.
Unc eat more chips in the club than any damn body. Every time she walk in, she got a bag of chips.
Yeah, a bag of chips every single time.
Oh, I didn't know.
So my way to Mississippi Minute, and it's not so much a negative. I still don't understand what Unc's look in the mirror was in that first scene because Katori and them keep saying no, she wasn't. It wasn't self-esteem. It wasn't that. But every single time I watch it, that's what it gives me.
Yep.
So I just don't know. Like, I can't think of any other reason that she was like looking in the mirror, looking at herself, looking at him. Then, like, I always felt like she felt a way in her non-feminine form. Why she did it, but even that they shot down. So that's my way to Mississippi Minute because I still don't know what the look is. What that scene is supposed to be telling me because what it's telling me is makes sense, but I don't know if we got a clear what's different, what it's actually supposed to be. So that's my way to Mississippi Minute.
So I've had to change my way to Mississippi Minute moment several times throughout this this portion of this the moment. So I'm just my Mississippi Minute moment will just generally be like, didn't nobody collect last night? Because y'all was just in the office, you know, assaulting the jukebox and disrespecting the couch. Clothes was everywhere. Like beer bottles. Me and John Tisha was on the timeline on Twitter discussing this. Like, it was a whole it was a red light special happening up in that office. Who collected the money? Did nobody knock on the door? Big L wasn't back there like, hey, man, hey. What's going on in this room? You know, and the way that jukebox was hitting that wall, just know it was all kinds of noises and aggression.
You know my theory about this.
You
okay? Yeah, you know my theory. Big L came, saw them, and was like, "Oh, we doing cash out somewhere else tonight."
I mean, something because I'm like, we see religiously that at the end of the night, the office, they ash out, kisses, hugs, you know. Somebody might square up a little bit, and y'all go outside, catch y'all share ride. So what happened? Because we see them woke up together in the office the next morning. Everybody outside finna go home. Who
I'm
had the
telling
need?
you,
You will
Big
never
L
convince me.
saw them
Yep.
and was like, "Oh shit,"
That's
and then locked the door, and they did cash out somewhere else. Nobody asked no questions. They was like, "Okay, Big L," and they just went on. Now, low key, high key, they made a scene Murda's car, and some of them may have known, but just like, that's my aunt. We not telling her business.
Yeah.
Good for her. I'm glad she got some. That's awesome, and we gonna keep it moving to the next shit.
That was
Big L.
Yeah, because I did ask people on the timeline if they felt like Mississippi, if Unc should have told Mississippi about her and Murda before that kiss. Most people was like, this is none of her business and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I agree. People stay to their business, but it's time for us to decide who is the bottom bitch. All right, good people. What are we thinking now? Murda done been the bottom bitch by 2 episodes now. The jukebox
Are we gonna
and
say
Murda.
Murda's lips this time? It was bottoms a couple times, but the lips were putting in work this time because those kisses were special, very special.
They were
very.
the highlight.
Yes.
They were.
I hate to do it again, but Murda is my bottom bitch again. I feel like it's so many murders as the bottom bitch. And because even though I do feel like he, like in the beginning of the conversation, I felt like he was totally crossing my good sis boundaries and everything else. But I like the fact that after his persistence was actually like, it's like you're scared, because I think that's what we talk about. He's so tuned in to sis and like why she's feeling away. So it's like, okay, I hear your fear, I feel your fear, but we're gonna do this anyway. So it's like, okay, the truckers, they got, okay, cool. So when you want to go out though, I like that how he approached that. And obviously we get to 108 and it all goes to shit, but this was kind of the beginning of him gaining her trust. And up until the very last episode, he was very consistent in his interactions with her. So bottom bitch for me again. I feel like I'm giving him a lot of bottom bitches.
Lord Jesus, baby. I'll let y'all, because to be honest, I really don't know. I don't have a bottom bitch this week.
My bottom bitch this week gonna be Big Luther, Big Lawrence, Big Lucius, whatever they're calling him for the timeline. Big Lucius. Cause I love that moment. You are a little nigga back here, but at the end of the day, when he mind his motherfucking business, he gave Lil Murda a little look like, and went about his day. And that's how you do it. You mind your motherfucking business and you hold your sister, your friend, whoever on. Gonna give that to Big L.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
And I love, that's one of my favorite moments in the episode. I've gave Murda the bottom bitch a couple of times. So I'm gonna say Mississippi this time. She had the big performance the previous night. And then this night she gets back on the stage and she has to do it again. And she's just as surprised by the reaction. She gets the whole, she sees it on social media, her views are going up. She realizes how big what she did was. So she had a really big moment. It carries off from the previous episode, but I didn't give it to her last time, so I'll give it to her this time.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that too. I
like that.
I love everyone's bottom bitch. So how about I take everyone's bottom bitch?
All of them.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna give opportunity like you did that last. Murda's bottom was just there. I thought she was gone like you did that one time.
No, I believe in fairness. So yeah.
What? Who was it? JT that said Murda's ass is fat on the
Girl,
timeline last night.
I saw that and I was like, you know what, JT.
Oh, that shit was absolutely
The
hilarious.
timeline is
She's
a
a
wild
mess.
place.
Yeah, it truly is. But I love how after 3 cycles of rewatches, there's still more to talk about. There's still more theories and conversation, like
there's still stuff
perspectives.
you notice because when did Jupiter's name become Valerie?
Baby.
Why is that the first time I've seen that?
When you said that, and was it JT who?
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, but I was just like, what?
I swear I don't watch this show because I have seen this episode I don't know how many times, but Valerie?
That you've
I never noticed that line. Nope.
Yeah.
So I noticed that, but the other thing for me is I keep trying to piece together Valerie and Yoli's relationship, because it's like when did she get pregnant though? Like did she have a boyfriend and then she fell in love with you and she left her boyfriend for you? Is she cheating on her dude with you and you only together in a club and around club people? Like that's I feel like what?
Didn't Katori say like that was, she wanted that to be like her lesbian couple, but then, you know, Danielle, you know, had to leave the show, so it just kind of, I guess, went another way. Like,
that's probably what I can see that happening, because if she left, and also so, and I think Jupiter, I don't know what her name is in real life, but she was pregnant in real life. So I think they also had to. She was.
Okay.
I think so I think they probably had to write it in, and so like I don't know if there was probably not enough time to do.
That's what I was going to say. Probably not
lesbian couple story of a surrogate and that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
I think the combination of Danielle had to go and you're pregnant in real life, so we have to bring in this other story because they just kind of dropped Valerie and Yoli. It was like all we had
all
was
of a sudden it's baby daddies popping up out of nowhere.
So I think
I'm gonna say they was in a throuple, and then it just got too difficult. And since they was having a baby already, Yoli was like, "Fuck it, I'm going off to live my best life. You can have her." And then he had the baby drama because he was like, "I didn't really. I was just trying to get a threesome in, you know."
Well, that goes with that statement. That could have been who he was trying to have the threesome with.
That's it. You right. Well, that's a way to close, ain't it?
Like, all right, we swear we be making up scenes. We swear we in the writer's room.
Right. I'm gonna fill it in the blanks however we so choose at this point.
Well, I'm gonna close this out. I'm Tia. If you say I see it's new, it's Tia Gets Social, and it's Tia Gets Social everywhere on all the platforms. So that's how you can find me, Tia Gets Social. And make sure that you are following our Twitter page and you have the notifications on, because everything comes to the Twitter page first. So you don't want to miss out on these episodes and anything else that we do. Ja, what you got?
All right. You can find me on Instagram as Ja_the_goddess, as goddess, all one word, on Twitter. And I encourage you to keep your FBI eyes open, because on Thursday, Friday, there Noah's episodes. Tanika?
I am at your girl Jiggy on all the things. You can follow me everywhere if you don't already. You can also follow Pink Sunday Radio on Instagram if you don't follow us over there yet. If you're looking for those bonus episodes, you can find those on pinksundayradio.com. That'll take you to Apple Podcasts. And while you're on Apple Podcasts, if you can leave us a 5-star written review, we would really appreciate it. If you're watching this video live on YouTube right now, if you could subscribe, like, comment, turn your notifications on so you don't miss any of these videos. Kogi, what do you got to tell them?
I'm Kogi Mama on Twitter and IG. You can subscribe to our newly launched website, pinksunday.com. There you will find original content, PValley related articles. We also have a new series, Best of PSR, a collection of moments during the week. Finally, subscribe to our linktree.com, Pink Sunday Radio, so you get notifications first. And thanks for listening and watching.
Pink Sunday Radio.